Hey guys, so I'm just doing this video talking while I'm doing some other stuff about what's going on right now with me with fibromyalgia, with writing my book and all that stuff. I'm just kind of doing this to video archive it. Anyways, I started writing my book finally, and it's funny because I've been wanting to write a book for a very long time. And I just didn't know what kind of book I wanted to write. Although for a while there, I knew I wanted to write a book on my kids, and then I wanted to write a book on my illness. Well, I'm healed now, so that's what my book is going to be on. And that is how I healed myself of fibromyalgia. It will probably include some other stuff too that will help people to understand why they may not be healing as quickly as they would like, or manifesting or whatever. And it's funny because we're always so taught from that it's from the head, it's the mind. We got to change the mind. We got to you know uh, yeah, change the thoughts, the mindset. Well, it's more than that. And it's funny because I was wondering, how am I going to share how I healed myself, and thinking that it was just this one thing kind of, but not really fully understanding the full scope of it. But now I do. In doing some research, coming across some stuff by accident, on purpose, of course, because I am exactly where I'm supposed to be because I'm here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be. Anyways, I was doing some research. I think it was for the book or I watched a video. And this video it really helped me to see and understand how exactly I healed myself. Not exactly, but exactly, it was more than just changing my mindset. That's where I started. I started with changing my mindset, and then I have it all written down. It started working on changing my mindset and really sticking with it this time. And then some cool things happen. And I ended up starting on cell food, which is I'm just taking because I do have cells in my body. Cells do regenerate, stuff like that. So that's the reason why I only take this product, is just because it's a support thing for my body. And then I joined iWowee in September and it started healing in October at the retreat. Excuse me. And then by November, I was off of all my prescriptions, which is really awesome. So we're still in the month of November. And to be honest, I also started, like I said, I was doing some research and everything, and I ended up coming across the idea that it's not in the mind. It's actually in the heart. And at first I thought, well, that kind of makes sense, because when I think back of, the times that I manifested and the times that I didn't manifest, if I really think about it, there really was a difference in the mind and heart connection, and not just in the mind. Whereas if I was just in my mind, I'm not manifesting. But if I'm doing it from my heart, with the heart-mind connection for me, then yeah. So I think a lot of people have a hard time because they're so focused on the mind. And, the mind is separate. I mean, we have a duality in our mind, which is subconscious and conscious. And it makes us feel separated, and we're not supposed to feel separated. We're supposed to feel whole. And in the heart is where that wholeness is. The heart has the wholeness, and the heart has its own hormones, it's a stronger electromagnetic and magnetic field, stronger than the brain. And it's the heart that puts everything in rhythm, the organs and the mind and all that. And it's nice not having that split, and the mind is bad. And it started with me just being in the present moment, just allowing that space, that stillness, that yeah, I was trying to be aware of my thoughts. And I tried this before to be the observer. It was not easy. I have really bad racing thoughts. I have a lot of other stuff too that, I know a lot of people deal with different things and in different cultures, depending on what culture you're in, what religion you're in, what your beliefs are, whatever. But, there's stuff that's a part of us as human beings that you might think is bad or you might feel guilty for, but it's not. There's nothing wrong with it. And a lot of people, they have so much guilt and so much being down on themselves for, whatever these feelings may be or thoughts may be. And so, like for me, I've had several different things that not several, but a couple different things that I've noticed over the course of my life, things that have made me feel maybe not as good as other things and whatnot, or things that I would take, my mind would take and go, oh, that's bad, when it really wasn't, type thing. So when I, with going through this and with the healing, um, one of the things that came up because of some of the trauma that I went through in my past, well, what I thought was trauma, I mean, yeah, it was, but doesn't mean that trauma can't turn into triumph. So, some of those things that I struggled with, what I did was, I mean, I struggled with them. And I fought with them to a certain extent. And I was trying to just observe and just be present and allow things to be run its course, emotions of, well, I mean, I could feel it in here. And the cool thing was is when I allowed my heart to deal with those things, oh my gosh. Wow, talk about freedom from whatever, because of my old beliefs or, ingrained stupid stuff, whatever. I mean, like here's a good example. Somebody who's raised in the South in the Bible Belt is going to be so afraid of hell. It's not even funny. Like, when I was a kid and, being Christian and everything, I heard the horror stories of how we were going to be looking down over heaven and seeing all the people in hell, freaking out. Why didn't you tell me, type stuff. And so, I mean, even later on in life, in my adult life, reading certain books instilled that in me. So you can see how I carried it from childhood to adulthood. Anyways, that's a horrible feeling. I mean, when you're Christian and you know people who are going to burn in hell and you're going to watch them, oh man, that's going to hurt your heart like nobody's business. But see, that was just one branch or aspect because then, I've met so many wonderful, beautiful Christian people that don't carry that same concept or that are more open and understanding and tolerant, I guess it would be the more appropriate word, religious tolerance. And, so it just really depends. But, when you're a child and it wasn't that I was raised that way. I actually chose that because of my own fears, I guess. So I changed that. I don't have that fear anymore. I've been able to embrace it, for lack of a better way of saying it. Just like with anything else in our lives, if we embrace everything, because no, I mean, nobody's perfect. People are going to have good and bad thoughts, as you want to call them, good and bad. I prefer to try to stay more neutral as possible because that really helps me to just see it as it is. It's a thought. And we could either choose to think on it or we can choose to say, okay, heart, this is something that I'm a little divided on. I need you to take this and, make it or help me to work through this so that I can feel good and whole with myself. The other thing too I've been doing is heart breathing, which I was taught by a lady. Her name is Christine Madeira, or Madeira, I think is how you pronounce it. And it's true. Babies and children all breathe from the heart, basically. I mean, not through, from the heart, but I mean, We all breathe when we're small, you know, deep down stomach coming out, all that kind of stuff. As we get older, we start breathing a lot more shallow. And she just calls it the heart breath because it, you know, the heart is first thing that develops in the womb. It has all of its own, everything that it needs, and it actually controls everything, or can, if you allow it. But we've allowed our minds so much control that, I mean, we forgot what it's like to feel, I guess, you know, connected, compassion for people and things and whatever. So, anyways, I do a lot of that breathing, a lot of the deeper breathing, because that is the way we're supposed to breathe, anyways, and it does help a lot. So, okay, I think that's all I can think of right now that I wanted to share. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. I got a good 10 minutes. Yeah, so that's it.